Good afternoon. Today I'll be talking about childhood obesity. 1/3 of children in the U.S. are either obese or overweight, according to WebMD 2019. NCBI 2015 defined child obesity as the body mass index for children's ages of the percentile less than 95%, and overweight is between the 85 and 95 percentile. The OEC 2019 reported child obesity is a growing epidemic and also affects more than 18% of children, making the most chronic disease of childhood. I'm able to talk about this due to my research and because of my experience with a family friend. Now you may be wondering what risk factors affects a child obesity and the ways to prevent it, but first let's start off with risk factors. According to NCBI 2015, more than normal amount of dietary intake of vitamins, proteins, and fats can be stored in the adipose tissues and cells, and that makes you gain weight easily. Also, the amount of physical activity, it has decreased to play outside because of the video games, computer games, TV, your phones is a big factor. Also, there's genetics, which plays a big role in it, because if the kids inherit the genes from the parents to gain weight easily, that's an issue for that. Also, Medline Plus 2016 had those risk factors, but also included the bad eating habits, the environmental factors, and the family's lifestyle and how they're raised. Some of you may be wondering why you should care about child obesity, but there are ways I'm going to list what it can do to your body. A leading factor of the child obesity is the high blood pressure and the high cholesterol, which can later in life can lead to cardiovascular disease, according to CDC 2016. They also said that child obesity can cause breathing problems, such as asthma and sleep apnea, which that is when you're sleeping, you just stop breathing completely, and that will wake you up. It can also later in life lead to fatty liver disease, gallstones, and a gastroesophageal reflux, which is a fancy term for acid reflux. Lastly, it puts you at greater risk of getting type 2 diabetes, which is a chronic condition which affects your body's ways to metabolize sugar. However, things we already discussed may seem pretty scary, especially when children are at risk, but there are ways to prevent it. Say when you're eating as a family at your dinner table and your parents say you can't get up before you eat everything off your plate. Well, according to Medline Plus 2016, parents should not do that because that forces you to ignore your fullness, and it can lead to bad eating habits such as bored eating. Also, NCIB 2015 said to not give your kids large portion meal sizes if you tend to feed them snacks throughout the day, so cut that down into half. Another thing Medline Plus 2016 said, instead of giving your kids junk food for snacks, parents should buy healthier snacks because they don't gain as much calories and there's better nutrients for the children. And that goes with sugary drinks such as Pops and Gatorades. I know kids don't like water, but there are water packets that you can give your kids to make that more flavorful for them. There's a website called catchinfo.org that was published in 2017 that has programs to work with kids who gain weight easily, and it can also help families adapt a healthier lifestyle for their children. It designs lesson plans that are 60 minutes long and helps the children with emotional support too. In conclusion, child obesity is a growing epidemic all around the world, but there are ways to prevent it. You just have to take that initiative to do so. And again, I hope you guys remember the risk factors, the effects of child obesity, and ways to prevent it, because we are the future parents. So I ask you, what can you do to prevent childhood obesity?